Good morning from a very, very sunny Sweden. Today we're going to be going on the SJX 2000. We're going to be trying out first class, showcasing the comfort, and of course, the journey itself. That journey takes around 150 kilometers from Gothenburg to Skövde, where I'm going to be on the hunt for some delicious local Swedish food. Now I need to acquire some first class tickets, so I'm going to take the tram into Gothenburg Central Station. It is worth noting that it does get very busy during these times. So we've made it to Gothenburg Central Station. We're just about to head in right now and buy those first class tickets and take our journey up to Skövde. So it'll be very, very nice. I'm hoping that the journey is going to be worth the hefty price that we're going to have to pay. Well, how great is this, ladies and gentlemen? Sitting by the rails having a cheeky little pint of IPA. We're going to be beginning our first class journey up to Skövde very, very shortly, and we're going to be reviewing that for you guys and letting you know just how it goes. This is the SJX 2000. It's Sweden's high-speed train, and we're about to go first class on this train. So what do I expect on this train? Well, I'm not 100% sure. We're going to hop into first class and see exactly what it has for us. And I'm hoping that it's going to be some very scenic views. It's now time to board the train, so I'm going to go on and see what the seating's like, the food, and whether it's worth that extreme price tag. This is the table where I'm going to be sitting today, so you can see the seats. It has nice upholstery and plenty of room. Now that I've departed Gothenburg, I think it's time to enjoy the views and soak up some sun. Luckily, I have the whole table to myself. I must say the views here are very, very beautiful. It looks like we're passing some kind of lake at the moment. One thing I've noticed that's very similar to the UK is this is a tilting train, which reminds me of the Class 390 Pendolino. After having some fond memories of the Pendolino back home, I decided it was time to get some lunch. I went for a 3-course meal in first class. I'm going to reveal the price to you at the end. It is worth noting that the price is not included in your ticket. For the main dish, they had pork, pasta, and some side salad with tomatoes. Now I thought this was very delicious. Do I think it was worth the price? Probably not, but what can you expect on a train? While I enjoyed the main meal first, I decided to leave the starter and the dessert until last. However, I'm not entirely sure what that starter was. It's like curried carrots. It's like carrots with curry, it's weird. The meal also came with some kind of crackers, butter, and a can of Pepsi. And I'm not entirely sure what the dessert was. To me it tasted like a salted chocolate brownie. It was very delicious, but also very rich, hence the small portion. So, what do I think of first class so far? Well, the dining wasn't too bad. I wasn't keen on the curried carrots, let me just say that. The salted chocolate brownie was very, very nice. The seats are a lot wider than what you would get in standard class, but the noise is really, really, really loud, especially if you're at my end of the carriage. Now, the first half of the journey is coming to an end. That is us arriving in Skövde. But I still need to try out and review some local Swedish food, and of course I'll be taking second class back and we're going to see what the comparison is like. What a magnificent train that was. That was a really, really fine journey. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I would highly recommend, if you're in Sweden, definitely take the X2000. Wow. So, how much have I spent so far? Well, let's break it down. It was 120 Great British pounds on the first class train tickets, and 145 SEK, which is about £10 on the 3-course meal. Well, I found this lovely little park. I'm going to go and get a nice seat before we head off for some Swedish meatballs. We're going to try some of the local authentic food. So stick around and hit that like button if you want to see me review second class later in the video. For now, let's go and get some meatballs and a local Swedish beer. So I'm going to review a local beer. It's called Den Lilla Krogen, which is actually the name of the restaurant here. Very delicious. After my delicious beer, I have a bit of spare time to go sunglasses hunting, so let's go into the shopping centre and see what we can find before we get our second class journey back to the hotel. Well, they're not the sunglasses of the century, but I was able to source something. Wow, Don't have a fat face, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very hard to buy sunglasses. That was a pain in the ass. Yeah, could I get the Thai basil? Yeah, we're gonna go for 2 portions of the meatballs. You know, we like the mash and things. Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect, thank you. Now, when I say this, I don't say this lightheartedly. This was probably one of the best meals that I've ever eaten in my life. And I think if you do decide to travel somewhere, get out of the cities, away from the touristy areas. The price here was absolutely phenomenal. The quality of food and the staff were just amazing. I would definitely recommend going here. A very, very lovely touch. Well, I've cleaned my plate. That was absolutely delicious. Now off to the train station. I'm gonna get a cheaper train home, I think, after the amount I have spent today. Holy moly. Right. It's now time to get back to the railway station and purchase those second class tickets. That's something I'm going to do on the mobile app. It's just a little bit easier. Let's check how much we've spent so far. This is a complete tally of what we've spent today. Now, can anyone guess how much it's going to cost for my second class ticket? So, what does a measly second class look like? Well, we're about to take the Vastagen, which is, I think it's run by Vastrack. So we've got second class back to Gothenburg. Well, it's obviously noticeably different on here. They do have a 3x2 seating. It is quite comfy seating, and there's not actually a lot of passengers on here, which is really, really good, to be honest. I don't think this train would have been very nice if it had a lot of passengers on, because there's rows of 3 seats and rows of 2 seats, so that's quite a lot of people stuffed into one carriage. Even just on this short 150-kilometre route, I've seen some of the best views that I've ever seen in my life. And with the darkness quickly setting back in, we are not too far away from arriving back in Gothenburg. So that's us just arriving back into Gothenburg now. I do prefer first class. Maybe tonight, when it was in second class, it's not busy, there's no one here, so there wasn't an issue whatsoever, but it was a very nice train journey. Pretty cheap in comparison compared to the Scottish train prices. So we've just completed the second leg of our journey in second class, and it wasn't too bad. In comparison to Scotland, the prices weren't too shabby at all. It was some very, very scenic views, especially on the horizon when we had that beautiful, beautiful sunset. And I think it's safe to say that is day 2 completed. I'm going to end day 2 here. We're going to go and get the tram and get back to the hotel. What an exhausting one this has been.